What's going on, guys? This is Kobe with Sample Source. If this is your first time on the channel, I am a platinum and Billboard producer. I also have been full-time for over 2 years now, and I share my experiences and my methods and techniques for getting beat sales as well as industry placement. So in this video, what I'm going to jump into is how I received a kind of negative comment, but more of misleading information, and why it isn't true, and what you need to do to get placements in 2022. I appreciate all the support. If you guys would like and comment and subscribe to the channel, then we'll get into the video. Okay, so let's jump into the video. So I received a message, and you could kind of see it here, but basically I was talking about getting placements through sending loops to producers, and basically producers in the industry. I will go and make a loop pack and then send it over to them. And then later on, whenever they get in the studio, they might play some of the beats with my loops on it. Some of them end up getting placed. And so out of every 100 loops I send out, I might get like 2 to 5 placements. And so I was sharing that information in a previous video on this channel, and somebody responded basically saying that, yeah, that works, but you're going to have to pay the producer most of the times. And this is why this is incredibly misleading. If you end up paying a music producer, a lot of the times you're not going to end up getting that money back in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not downing placements. Like, there is a lot of producers that have built up a large enough channel to where you go and pay them for a collab and you get your money's worth, if not more, out of it. And you also get that brand recognition from them that kind of transfers over to you from whoever ends up buying that beat. They might end up buying more beats from you in the future because they like your sound and whatever. But the point is that if you're in the music industry, there is a lot of people who are simply in it for the clout, and they don't care about any kind of morals or ethics or anything like that. And they'll take your money and run with it. And this has happened to me personally 2 or 3 times where I have paid somebody to get a placement or something like that, and they've just gone and ran off with my money, and they were doing it as a cash grab. They were basically flexing all of the placements that they got, but they have absolutely no plans of putting you in position to get a placement. They're basically just taking your money and giving you a bunch of false promises, right? So that has been my experience with paying for placements, is that most of the time I've gotten screwed over. I haven't actually gotten any kind of value from that. And there are lots of bigger producers. Sunny Digital, I think somebody was talking about like paying him for a placement would be a great opportunity to get your foot into the music industry, right? So there's obviously a lot of producers who have built up really good names for themselves, and you can go and pay them, and you would do well doing that over the course of time consistently. But I'm here today to tell you that you do not have to pay producers anything to get placements. I never pay producers that I work with all the time to get placements. That would just be a weird relationship. I think that in terms of payment, sometimes they ask me if I want to take a lower percentage because all I did was make the loop. They went into the studio, they got it placed, they might have booked studio time, and I'm definitely cool with that because they're making their living solely from doing that, and I have a lot of other streams of income. So let's talk about what he said today. So basically he said you're going to have to pay them most of the time. And when I responded and let him know that I never pay them anything and that a lot of times it might end up being a scam, his response was, it's not like that for everyone. I know a lot of great sample makers without any major placements. You must be really good at it for big producers to just willingly help you. So he follows up one misconception with another one that's really even worse than the first one. He's assuming that they're just lending me a hand, that they're helping me out, and they're doing a big favor for me just because I'm really good at producing, or they want to do something for me. So that's the wrong way to look at business relationships. So business relationships are built on reciprocity. And what that basically means is that you go and offer value to somebody, and in return, they will offer value back to you. It's not in terms of somebody giving you a favor. It's not in terms of anybody supporting you. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with, are you making a valuable product? and do they actually want that product and they're willing to do right by you. So that's all that it takes to develop a business relationship that doesn't have any ties to you paying somebody for that service, right? I feel like that is just the worst mindset to have when it comes to being a music producer, just in life in general. You think that people who are on top are willing to just help out people randomly because they're really good at something or something like that. Like, yeah, that happens, but that's not the point. The point is that do good work, make connections, keep networking, and providing value. So let me share another example of this. So today I had somebody go and text me that they are working with a major artist. They're in the studio right now and they need some guitar laid down on something. I'm like, okay, cool, I got you. Just text it over to me and I'll go and play the guitar over it and send it back to you. I will go and do that in the same hour. I don't do it the same day. I don't do it the same week. I do it in the same hour. As soon as they send it to me, I'm working on it because this is my full-time job, firstly, so I have more availability. Secondly, because I value that relationship so much that I'll do anything to make sure that it is a strong relationship and that they're willing to send me more opportunities in the future. So if somebody's working with major artists and you're like, okay, cool, send it to me, and you don't do anything with it for a few days, then you're not taking that opportunity seriously enough. So the first thing is, the only reason that I have ever had any opportunity to get placements is because I took things seriously. And whenever I had an opportunity, I capitalized on that opportunity. And so if you're not getting opportunities yet, then the harsh reality might be that you're simply not good enough at making samples yet or beats. Or secondly, that you're just not good enough at networking. You need to work on your social IQ and you need to grind harder at networking. So I made a tweet once that said, basically, you're not serious about networking if you're not hitting up at least 20 artists or producers a day. And I'd hold to that statement, because if you're trying to grow your network and it's not big enough yet to where you just have opportunities falling out of the sky whenever you wake up, you need to wake up with a purpose of networking with at least 5 to 10 artists a day, if not 5 to 10 producers. So if I'm advising that you go and connect with producers and send out samples to them, and you only have like 3 producers in your repertoire to hit up, you need to go out and hit up at least 20 producers a day. Maybe 10 of those respond and 5 of those you're able to lock in with. So that's 5 new connections every day. So after a month, that's 150 new producers that you can hit up in the music industry to get placements from. So it's as easy as that. I have a massive network now. You know, I have, a decent following. It's over 7,000, but a lot of those people, thousands of them, are in the music industry. And that was built over the course of years. So what are you doing today to increase your networking skills? What are you doing today to increase your production skills? So ask those 2 questions to yourself every single day and do something about it. Don't sit back and judge people and have misconceptions about the music industry because you have no experience in it. So don't be like somebody who tries to throw around misinformation to justify that they have not worked on themselves enough yet. So that's what this video is about. It's not to downplay the fact that opportunities are sometimes handed to people. It is to show that you need to work harder on being a better producer and being a better networker. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If it has, then make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content on the way soon. And I also have just dropped a new video course on selling beats online. So if you have struggled with selling beats on YouTube or Instagram, then this is for you. It's basically how to do manual outreach on Instagram, and it's called the IG Cheat Code video course. So if you're interested in that, it's basically 13 trainings with 13 PDF guides on how to sell beats more effectively on Instagram. It's everything you need to know about that, including how to get to 3K a month. So it includes a whole training on breaking down the math to get you to 3K a month, as well as my exact script on how to send messages on Instagram the correct way. So there's so many gems that I could share about it, but if you want to watch the free IG sales training, then make sure you go to the link below. It's in the description. The training happens every 15 minutes and it'll take about 45 minutes to present the whole thing. And it's going to talk about basically my journey. Also going to talk about reverse engineering your way to get to the exact same mindset that I have with selling beats online and how I scaled that idea to $3,700+ a month. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Make sure you go and watch the free training below in the description. I'll see you in the next video.